you'd think being housebound would make everything just run to time, right? You'd think there could be, hey, what else are you doing? But actually, it's crazy just how much there is going on. So, in this particular stream, we are going to be exploring literacy. This morning we did mathematics. It was awesome. We had a brilliant audience. We covered so many things to do with math. We covered everything from basic counting to ratios to everything we've ever done with math. Narrative-driven mathematics, 2D, 3D shapes, number recognition. We did everything. And that was just an introduction to mathematics. What we're now going to do is we're going to do some literacy, just an introduction to literacy to see, because again, teachers have kind of been in touch with me to say, I really want to get into this Minecraft thing. I'm just not entirely sure how to go about making my subject work with it. And that subject might involve either, you're teaching literacy, you're teaching modern foreign languages, or you're teaching English or whatever, or you are you're teaching something else, but you want to promote literacy throughout what it is that you're teaching. And so we are going to I'm just checking that we've got everything. There, okay. So let's just jump into Minecraft and see what we've got in the way of literacy already. Well, actually, no, you know what we'll do? Let's start with a new world and let me show you some of the tools in Education Edition specifically that are designed to help you promote literacy. So let's just start a world called Literacy World Basics. And we're going to go creative, peaceful. This doesn't matter because doesn't matter who's coming in. I'm going to make it an infinite world because we're just going to choose to maybe write about something that we see. No seed. Always choose coordinates. I do that just as a good habit. We're then going to do activate cheats. Code builder we don't need. That's not true. I'm going to show you some code builder stuff that can help to promote literacy too. Basic spelling and so on. We're going to make it always day because I don't want it to be nighttime. We're going to allow mobs, perfect weather, everything else can stay the same. Play. Let's see what we get. We always get something new. This morning we got an amazing one. Here we are. So what did we get? Oh, we got a village, another village. Villages are way more frequent now than they used to be. You used to have to work really hard to find a village, and now you get one quite often. This one with a big crack in the middle. What house would you live in? If there was a house for sale in this village, which one would you hope it was? I don't know if I want it to be the one that's like hanging over the river, because that seems nice, but it's both a collapse and a flood risk, right? What if we were doing... This one's quite nice, tucked away in that little bit there with the trees around it, but again, you're right on the edge of this. This one next to the cliff, quite nice. I would buy this one. Oh, look at that. I'd have to jump to get in and back out again. Yeah, I'd do some landscaping. I'd do some landscaping. We're not going to worry about that. So let's head down into our village then, and let's just imagine that we are going to be doing a literacy piece on farms. So I want to count my, what do we got here? We got beetroot. I'm sure this is beetroot. Yeah, beetroot seeds. So we know we've got 2 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there we go. We're 2 by 7 in this farm for beetroot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the E key and I'm going to go to, I'm going to type in there book, and that's going to give us a book and a quill. And that book and quill is then something that I can right click on. Now, notice when I did that, I'm just going to go back into C. I typed in the word book and I got bookshelf, book, book and quill, and then I got all these other enchanted books. Ignore all of them. We just want the book and quill. And once I've got it in my hand, you see it down in the bottom right, this big chunky thing here. You see it swap for seeds, book, book. There we go. I'm going to just right click. I always tend to do this up in the sky, so it's not like I'm pointing at anything. I'm just going to look up in the sky and right click. And inside this book, we have different pages. So page 1 of 2, and it goes all the way up to page 50. Thanks very much. Like in the new skin, as in physical new skin or game new skin. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just type in here. So I'm going to say the farmer has a small crop of beetroot in his field. Here we go. He has successfully grown 2 rows of 7. Actually, maybe just put our, there we go, numbers, 7 beetroot. Wow, you'd think I would be able to spell during a literacy course. There we go. So the farmer has a small crop of beetroot in his field. He has successfully grown 2 rows of beetroot so far. Now, that's quite nice, right? What if we wanted to just have the word, so any object, like, so if there's an object in that, I want that highlighted. So what we can do is we can press Alt and type, while we're holding Alt, we type the numbers 2 and 1, 2, 1. And that gives us this little double S. And that double S allows us to then put a number at the end. So 1 or 2 or 3. And you see what's happening? 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's find one that looks like beetroot. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. 4 is the nearest to beetroot. So the answer is 14 beetroot. Perfect. Thank you very much, Jake. There's a 10-year-old doing the maths for me. Good lad. And so, also, I'm not sure I've spelled successfully right. Have I spelled successfully right? I possibly have. You know when you look at a word, you know, sometimes it's written down and you think, that's not right. And you go over and over and over it. Anyway, back to the beetroot. Someone can correct me on that if it's wrong. I'm just going to type Alt 21. And that's going to change everything to, there you go, 4. So I just went back and I did that just before the beetroot. And then when I go to the end of the beetroot, I'm going to go Alt 21 0, and that changes everything back because 0 is black. Then we're going to go to the end, the beginning of this beetroot, and we're going to do Alt 21. What was that again? 4? Yep. And then when we get to the end of the beetroot, we're going to do Alt 21 0. And what that does is, that means if I press escape now, you can see that the word beetroot has been coloured. And so we can actually, 2 L's. Thanks so much. We're doing literacy after all. Of course, that looks much better. Look at that. Right. So the farmer has a small crop of beetroot in his field. He has successfully grown 2 rows of 7 beetroot so far. What if we were to ask our kids to highlight all vowels in one colour, and they could go on and they could break up a word? What if we were to say, break one of the big words down, please show the colouring again? Of course, I will do that. Learning Like a Boss has asked to do that. I'll do that in just a second. I'll do it on another page actually. But what if we were to say vowels and consonants and have them coloured appropriately? What if we did syllables? So I was to say, let's just say if we were to use the word, give me a word that has lots of different syllables in it. Why can't I think of this? Learning. So how many syllables? Learning. So what we're going to do is we're going to do Alt, that's the left Alt on our keyboard, 21. I use the numbering key, the number keypad on the right of my keyboard. So Alt 21. You have to hold Alt and type those one after the other, 21, Alt 21. And then I'm going to do 1. Then I'm going to go to the second syllable and do Alt 21, 2. And then when we press Escape, that should give us the 2 syllables. Learning. Constantinople. About. So actually remember, if we want to do a new word with a new colour, particularly words that aren't included in our thing, so we're going to do, I'm just going to do Alt 21, 0. Whoops. Then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to do let's just write this out. Constantinople. There we are. Constantinople. So So we're going to go to the beginning and we're going to do Alt 21 and we're going to do 3. Constantinople. Is that 5? Constantinople. Yeah, it's 5, isn't it? I don't know if I haven't used a Mac in years learning like a boss, so my apologies. I'm not, we can check that out on Google. Yeah, exactly, right? That's the right symbol, but you need to do it inside Minecraft. That's exactly the right symbol. What I've also found works is if you can't find it on a keyboard, go on to Google and Google it and say coloured writing in Minecraft, and then you'll get the symbol and you can just copy and paste it in, because I'm going to come to this later, but copy and pasting works. So and then we're going to do Alt 21, 4, Opal. That's how I'm going to break it up. I mean, I might be wrong. 5 and then 6. And then when we get to the end and press, whoops, I didn't mean that. When we get to the end and press Escape, learning about Constantinople. So we've done our syllables as well. And so, hey Joseph, how are you? And so what we've got is we've got a really nice mechanism in this book here for practicing the little literacy tips and tricks that we want our children to think about, just by having some fun and colouring in. Kids love this. If we could have a colour chart on the wall that says whenever you mention a name of a person, so if we're going to do a history thing and we're going to talk about names of people, always make them symbol 1. Always make objects symbol 2. Always make places symbol 3. Let's get so we break it down. What about verbs and nouns? And you know, what if we're using descriptive language and we want to do that? So we can actually break that down in our book, and we can then mark that instantly as adults marking this book. I can see that they've taken the objects and they've made them red. I can see that they've taken their words and they've broke them down into different colours. Constantinople. And actually another way of doing Constantinople might be, just to make it easier, would be 3. No, sorry, that would be 3 and that would be 4. So if we come out there, you can, it's just blue, red, Constantinople. Actually, it's another one. Check me out. I'm getting this wrong. Alt 21, 3. Let's try that. Constantinople. Yeah. Okay. So there we go. So learning about Constantinople, and we could do it that way as well. And so just little tips and tricks for helping people to get the most out of the book and quill for literacy. People often don't either know about that one or don't think about that one. And it's really quite nice to be able to do that. Bearing in mind that if I take this page, in fact, let's just take the Constantinople one, and I hold the shift button and then the back arrow until I get to the beginning, and then press Control and C. Then I go to here, new line, Control V. I can copy and paste, and I can do that from any other source. I can do that from the internet. So I'm going to go on the internet and I'm going to get you a piece of text. Let's just see. The university's registry maintains a comprehensive computerized history. Copy. This is just something that I was reading earlier. And then we're going to go to here. I've just copied something from the internet and now I'm going to paste. There we go. And it pastes in the last colour, so I'll just go back and make it black again. Everything defaults to black unless you have one of those symbol 21 pieces in. There we go. So I just copied. The university's registry maintains a comprehensive computerized record of students' academic history from the internet. And so a lot of people... Constantinople. Yep, that would be another way of doing it. How did I do it? I did Constantinople. I treated the LE as a opal. Nople. Yeah, so the P, I just got the NO wrong. Scott, Constantinople. Look at that. Look at us struggling with struggling with that. And so, but it's really important for the kids, right? And so copy and pasting into your book is great as well, which of course doesn't necessarily promote the literacy skills that you want in terms of the children typing it. But if they've written it first, or they've typed it into so I quite often have the children do the research, do the writing, get it into OneNote, and then when they're ready, they strip it down. And they know that there's only a certain amount of letters that can go on this page. So then they have to work out how many, they do tests, and then they copy and paste it over. So let me give you an example of where we've done this. Where we've used the Book and Quill effectively for that. So we're going to view my worlds, then we're going to go to, where's my STEM demo? Actually, first I'll take you to the art world, because the art world is one of them. Here we go. I think it's this one. So some of you may have seen the art world. We're going to do a whole stream on the art world eventually, but we've just used it so far. Welcome to the Sistine Chapel. And then down here we have little Michelangelo, and you can see there that we've done this already. Ciao, I am Michelangelo, an Italian artist who lived during the Renaissance. I was a sculptor, painter, poet and architect. That's the things I want the students to take from that. What we can also do is go into this Book and Quill. Nope, not Book and Quill. Here we are. Into this book. And when I read the book, you'll see there, we wanted Pope Julius II, Sistine Chapel, 4 years. These are things that I want my children to remember, because later there's going to be a question that says, hey, we know that Michelangelo painted over 5,000 square feet of frescoes on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, but how long did it take him? Was it A, B, C or D? And these are the things that can help them to get that. I had never painted a fresco before. Again, person, always in the same colour, fresco in the same colour, and so on. Lime plaster, object in green. I built scaffolding for a job. Leonardo da Vinci and I were contemporaries, so there's another person's name and so on. And so we're able to do that, and you see the pictures in here that complement that. I'll go back to that in a second. And so using that is really important. What if we go to another world where we've used this? Oh, that's a great question. Learning Like a Boss has asked, do you find a difference in engaging boys and girls? Here's the thing. I'm generally called in and parachuted in with stuff like this, solutions like this, because we of course do Minecraft, we do 3D printing, virtual reality, podcasting, animation, filmmaking, you name it. But generally with Minecraft, we're parachuted into something particularly around mathematics and literacy, because there is a divide. They are struggling to engage boys of a certain age, or they are struggling to engage girls of a certain age. My experience, quite honestly, is that boys struggle more with reading. Not because they're not necessarily capable of doing it, although that's probably true of certain boys just as it's true of certain girls, but the willingness to read. And we know that. I mean, I think if we look universally at education across the world and parenting across the world, there's a universal struggle to get younger boys to want to read. And it's so important about role models, like reading to your children. As men, reading to children is like super, super, super important. I was the parent of 2 stepchildren for many, many years, and I read to them as often, if not every night, I read to them, and I would read instructions to them, and I would read cereal packets to them, and I would read stories at night. And when we were doing Lego, we would read together and we would read the instructions, and I would get them to follow and it was just so important that the male of the house as well as the female of the house read. And so I'm definitely aware that there's an issue with that. What I tend to find is when it comes to Minecraft, that is leveled out. Boys are as eager to write and to play with Minecraft words and Minecraft literacy as girls are. And this is where a lot of the wins can be. I mean, one of the first projects we ever did, and I'm just going to, while I'm talking, I'm going to take you to the next one. One of the first projects we ever did was the Gruffalo for very, very young children. And it was to help boys to read in pairs so they could read to each other, which was, you know, similar to dad reading to son. It was like boy reading to boy. So there wasn't this cool or anti-coolness to it. Let me have a look. There we go. STEM demo. Let me check this out. And so, there's definitely an issue, but I think Minecraft is the great leveler for that. And boys are just like, oh, and of course I just say it like it is. There's no sugarcoating it for me when I'm working with kids. You know, I talk to kids like little adults, and I say to them, you want to do plant and animal cells? And they're like, yeah, you know, you want to do Minecraft? They're like, yeah. Well, we're doing plant and animal cells. And they go, you mean like we're going to do science? And I say, we're doing science. And if you don't like it, we're out of Minecraft. And they just, and they're like, okay, well, those are the rules, and that's it. And that's what I'm going to do. And they just love it. They go for it. There's none of this, you know, pandering around to, you know, to make sure that they've all got the environment they want, or they've all got, it's just like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do times tables. Oh, I don't want to do times tables, but we're going to do times tables in Minecraft. And they're like, yes, that's what we're going to do. We're not building dragons, and we're not summoning dragons. We are doing maths. So where is this? Oh yeah, it's over here. So here's a nice one where if you want to know about, so this is Magellan's ship. And then we can go in and meet Magellan himself. And when we click on him, he tells us a bit about himself. Welcome aboard. I've just returned to port to change crews and restock my ship. And then if we go into the chest, there's a little book. And when we take the book called Captain's Log, we can go into it and we can see, we haven't coloured any of these incidentally on this one, but we can see what we've written. So this is a journal instead. So this is a great September 20th, 1519. Today I set sail with a fleet of 5 ships and over 200 men. We plan to venture to the Spice Islands by sailing west. So then the kids are like, where are the Spice Islands? Well, we need to go find out, right? And we know they're west of where? So where did Magellan start? And suddenly we got all these questions, right? And I am thankful King Charles I of Spain is willing to sponsor our travels. Who was he? And why did he sponsor those? We have a wonderful adventure ahead of us. I am confident the Trinidad, Antonio, Concepcion, Victoria and Santiago will have a great voyage and return home safely with much to show for our venture. So what were those? What was the Trinidad and the Antonio and the Concepcion and the Victoria and the Santiago? What were they? So suddenly the kids are asking questions, and we've just built it into this book. They want to go research. Hey, welcome Twangy Raccoon. Thanks very much for the follow. Workshop Craft says, the boat area reminds me of a location in the old Fortnite map. I'm not a Fortnite player, I have to say, and I could never get into it. And then September the 28th, so we move to the next journal. We start on a new page and we move to the next journal. We have been docked at Tenerife in the Canary Islands for a couple of days now to pick up supplies. We will leave soon for the Atlantic Ocean. I received some disturbing news today. A letter arrived warning me that the Spanish officers plan to kill me after we leave the Canaries. We have not even truly started the voyage yet. How could they be plotting against me already? And suddenly we're building this. And this is, we wrote this for kids to read and then write their own. And they went off and they loved this. And they went off and they opened the books and they wrote their own. We did, let me show you another one that we did. The book isn't in here, but I'm gonna use this world to model it. Let's go to Toy Box Egypt. And so far we've only covered the book and quill. This is only what the book and quill does for us. There's so many other literacy tools, but the book and quill is core. When Microsoft purchased Minecraft and moved it to the Bedrock edition, in particular the Education edition, it was the one thing that I asked for. They said, if you have a wish list, get it in now. And I was like, book and quill. Every time the book and quill. Because it's so rich. Such a rich little tool. Like, let me see, it's got to be around here somewhere. I've got so many different education worlds. This is crazy. And I didn't find the one I was looking for. I tell you what would be on my wish list. A search tool. That would be nice. Got to be in here somewhere though. It isn't. It has to be in there. Oh, my toy boxes. There's the Toy Box World War One, Toy Box Pompeii. I'm going to keep looking. I know it doesn't make for us. There we are. Toy Box Egypt. And so what we did was, yeah, search bar for sure. We've got hundreds of worlds, and that's not even all of them. That's just what's on this device. On my Surface Book, which I've got here, I've got another 97 worlds or something. And man, I struggle to find them. So there we go, Mr. Howard Carter. So if we look at this world, this is a toy box that's designed as an Egyptian sarcophagus, in which is a model of Giza and Egypt and some of their... so I'll just skip out so we can see this. This is gorgeous. My builders are very, very clever people. We design them. I sort of sit down and sketch them out. This is what I want. And then I give them to my Minecraft World team. We have a whole team behind us to do that. And this is what they come back with. And so inside of this, we have a variety of different lessons, one of which is Howard Carter. There's the Sphinx. Check him out. He's quite funny. And Howard Carter, of course, discovered the Egyptian tombs in 1921, and he raided them. So 1922. In 1922, I led the team who discovered the intact tomb of King Tutankhamun in the Valley of the Kings. This find allowed us greater insight into the burial practices of the ancient culture. Watch this video to learn more, and before you enter the tomb, and then we can watch a video in there. But one of the lessons that we give the children is the book and quill, and we say, right, here's what I want you to do. I want you to write a journal. So we're going to go, based on what you've learned about this guy, based on what you go off and you learn. February 1st, 1922. We have arrived in Egypt and the temperature is soaring way beyond our expectations, etc. Let me just fix that. Way beyond our expectations, etc. And suddenly we have this journal, and we can just continue to... And then what the kids do is, now notice this about the book and quill. If I close it and I just ignore it and go building stuff, at any time I can go back to it and I can add another page. So it's a perpetual thing. You can even sign out and go back in and it's still there. And so we can go into the tomb and we can go in and we can find certain things. So what's in here maybe? Oh, there's a book. So there's the dig journal. Let's see what this looked like. There we are, 1914. I've been digging in the Valley of the Kings, desert of Egypt for years already. I live here in a mud brick house. I haven't found what I'm looking for just yet. 1922, skip forward. Lord Carnarvon told me I have just 1 year to find the buried treasure or I'll have to move home to Britain. And then we're going to go to the next one. And we can keep these... There we go. Once Carnarvon arrived, we exposed the entrance to the tomb. Hot air flooded my face and details emerged in the darkness. Gold, statues and animals. I called them wonderful things. And then we took them and we put them in the British Museum. And never gave them back. So, as you can see, if we want to start thinking about, you know, a lot of, I do these streams because quite often I'm faced with negativity. I'm often faced with teachers or parents saying to me, surely you are not telling me that Minecraft can teach our children. It's a game, you know, there's Fortnite, there's Minecraft, there's Dota, there's what, and I'm like, no. We need to separate this because inside of this, there is, in this game in particular, there is the potential for history and geography and science and mathematics and literacy, and the book and quill is just one of those tools. By the way, I better put this book back in this chest before I go flying away and forgetting, because this is a active world. Check this wee guy out, look. There's King Tut there, look. A little mummified villager. You watching, Jake? You like him? A mummified villager. A very important villager. Check him out. So there we go. And so these are just some of the ways: keeping journals and diaries, or writing books, stating your adventures. But what about social and emotional learning? What if we wanted our children to keep their own diary and we wanted them to keep it secret? What better place to keep a digital diary hidden somewhere in a Minecraft world? Great. Yes. Well, Java, Learning Like a Boss is asking about Java. You can use Java, absolutely. And Java has a book and quill in it. It just doesn't have the capability of taking pictures, but it has it has the writing capability. But what if we wanted our kids to keep their own social and emotional learning diary about their health and well-being and their thoughts and their feelings? And we've done exercises like this. Social and emotional learning in schools is growing. It's a growing field. It's extremely important. So what if we kept those in hidden in a place, trapped? I mean, nothing that would risk the safeguarding of your children, but just something that they wanted to keep. Kids keep diaries. Kids keep journals, keep their thoughts and their feelings and their. So why not? Why not have it hidden in a tomb? And then the tomb is you can't make it in Java. Learning Like a Boss, the mummified villager was made. We're actually going to do a stream about this later on in the month. It was made using a program called Blockbench, and it's an object only available in this world. But we can get you this world, and you can have it and build that world out to do more with. But there will be a stream to show you how to do that. But that social and emotional learning is really important. So they could keep their own diaries using their own book and quill, and then we could hide it and we could protect it. And then and like super hidden. You'd be amazed where kids can hide stuff in Minecraft worlds that you wouldn't even think of. And then trap it. So there's no way of getting into it. And then they could challenge you to do it. That's what they did to me. They actually hid stuff in not social and emotional learning, but they hid their treasures inside one of these tombs, and I had to go in and get them. As Howard Carter, I was Howard Carter, and they took great pleasure in killing me with traps of lava and stuff like that. So they loved it. And so, if I just duck out of this one, let's go and have a look at a little bit of coding as well. So for example, I'm just going to go back to our coding basics world. Where is it? Coding basics. Because we did some coding yesterday, but we didn't tap into one of the things that we wanted to do with coding. If I press C, that brings up coding. We're going to do a new project, and we're going to call that project literacy. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go down, and you'll see there that there's text on the left-hand side. If you click on advanced, you'll see text. And then what we can do is we can play around with the words. So we can do split. Now I haven't done, actually forget text for the moment. Actually, let's go back to text for the moment. Let's go to blocks. And for blocks, I'm going to do print the word Constantinople. Actually split mine. Let's see if we can do this. Print Constantinople in, where are we? Let's have yellow. In yellow concrete at my location going west. We just have to test what that is. And I say my location because if you remember what we said about coordinates, we're using relative coordinates. That's the ones with the little squiggle. There's a word for that. Workshop Craft, help me out. What is that squiggle called? And then what we're going to do is we're going to press play. Hey, Koo's in the house. And then we're going to do, now, here's the thing. Let me just see what the code is. So the code is run, but I actually want to do, I'm going to do spell. When I write spell in the chat command, this will happen. And we'll do it all in capitals actually. Let me just... Constantinople. There we go. And so this time when I type spell, so I just pressed T and spell, you'll see that what's happening is Constantinople is being written across the sky. We're using the word Constantinople because we used it earlier. Ah, yeah, I know why. It's a tilde. That's right. Thank you very much, room 117. I remember why you couldn't see what I was doing there, and it's because I have to switch that on. Let me just see if that works. And then split it in half. There we go. Can you see that now? Yeah, you can see the code now. Sorry, that was my fault. I need to remember when I'm doing code, I need to open a separate window because it's a slightly different thing. Right. Yep, you can see it. So you'll see here that what I did was, let me just take you through that one more time since you couldn't see that. My apologies, I must remember that going forward. So what I did was, I'll just get rid of this. Here we are. And what I did was on player chat, and I called it spell. I went into blocks and I said print Constantinople in, and we did yellow concrete at my location, tilde 0, tilde 0, tilde 0. Yep, absolutely. We're moving on to that at the end, room 117. We're going to use the immersive reader shortly. I'm going to press play, and then what we're going to do is I'm just going to turn a different direction, maybe head off this way so we can see that, and we're just going to press T, and I'm going to type spell, and what happens is Constantinople starts where I am. And then it's back to what we, and this can be lovely because this could be a whole spelling world. Maybe it's like called the spelling sky. And what you want to end up with by the time you've finished is all of the words that you wanted them to spell with, you know, today we're going to be looking at words with double O in it, you know, hoop and stoop and loop and so on. And you end up with this gorgeous sky with all different words and different materials, all of the 5-letter words in green, all of the 4-letter words in red, for example. And again, using what we have, so let's just go and get some red. What if we were to do con stan? Ah, I spelled it wrong. Look, there's a T missing. Dun, 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 Constantinople. That would have been a very different history, right? So let's do it over here instead. So let's do con stan, and then we worked out it would be, we agreed it would be t, and then no, and then pull. And suddenly we've got the kids looking at the syllables. So in this giant word, take some concrete and go put a break where you know the syllables would be, and so on. So the coding function is fantastic, and you could even do the coding part. So as a teacher or a parent, you could create the spelling sky, and then you could say to the kids, okay, I need you to find a word that rhymes with steep, and then they're looking around and they see the word sheep in the distance and they fly and they land on it. Brilliant. I need you to find a word that has 6 letters and means this, and then they look around and they go, and we can create these puzzles with these giant spelling skies, or word skies and so on. So you could do that in advance. You could just, because again, all we now do is we just go back and we just change this to sheep. We'll make that green instead, and we'll raise ourselves up a bit, and we'll type and what we end up with is the word sheep. And then we'll go make another word, and then we'll go make another word and another word, and we can have them at different angles, because remember, if we go back into C, we can now just make this north instead. we'll make it red, and we'll make the word target. Press play, and then we're just going to stand here and we're going to do spell. Oh, there we go. So it's this way, and it's actually small case. I should have done that in full case, but there we go. Target. And suddenly we have these words appearing in these giant skies, and we can have all kinds of word games, etc. In Bedrock, you can go in chat, press the up arrow. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. You can just go up and see what you've done before, and that allows you to go up and see. So let's just do spell again. We should get target again. There we are. Thanks, Jake. That's a great little hint from my audience. It has to have been typed first. It's basically a history. You can scroll through your history. And so, as you can see, there's another nice coding way of doing it. But there's also one final tool that I'd like to show you before I sign out. And that is, as mentioned by Room 117, who's with us, that is, and where are you signing in from, Room 117? Where are you watching us from? And that is the immersive reader. And so let me go down and show you some other, I keep doing that, I now need to do this. Let me go to a different world, and that disengages me from code fully. Let's go into, it doesn't really matter what world, but we will go into Redmond, Ground Zero, right? I hope you are looking after yourself and your loved ones, and everyone is safe. Let's go into, I could pick any world, and I'm just struggling with this one. Victorian toy box, there we are. Okay, this is nice. We did this one. This is a nice Victorian toy box. This is all about how the Victorians lived, and you'll notice that half of it is in colour and half of it is in black and white, apart from the ribbon. And the box is beautiful. The box has little flowers on it, and it's ignore the hole up there. I'm not even sure why that's there. That's an error. Yep, there we go. I've finished it. So the box is beautiful, and this is all about learning about the Victorians. How did they live? What did they do? What did they wear? What did they eat? How did they speak? And they didn't all speak Queen's English. But if we head along here, we can now put some signs up. So let's put up a board. Oops. So here's some of the other tools. That took me way too long to figure that out. And we can go in there and we can say, hi, this is a board. And then we can press the I key, and what that does is it opens up Microsoft's Immersive Reader. This is a remarkable tool. And the Immersive Reader sits inside Minecraft. It's also available for OneNote and just you name it. The Immersive Reader is in it as part of the Office 365 offering. It's free. And let me just come back out of it. We'll go back to Minecraft, exit. Anytime we are looking at or engaged in something, we can press the I key to go to the Immersive Reader. And so let me just put more in here. If you press the I key while in Minecraft and engaging. Right, now we can figure it out, right? Why, if you press the I key while in Minecraft and engaging in text, this will open the Immersive Reader. Constantinople. Right, let's try that. Okay, so now we're going to come out, we're going to look at this sign, and we're going to press the I key. Unfortunately, if you're using Java, this is not possible. And then what we can do is we can play around with this. So if I press play.
Hi, this is a board. If you press the I key while in Minecraft and engaging in text, this will open the immersive reader. Constantinople.
She says it quite right? But I've made some mistakes. I noticed that. I was listening to that and thinking, hang on a minute. She said enaging, not engaging. So I can go back and I can fix that. I also noticed that there's not a spell there. A space there. She read it right, but she didn't. But I noticed while she was reading it that it came up as one word. So it's will open. So it's one word. So let's try that again. Let's see if that makes a difference. There we go. Press play.
Hi, this is a board. If you press the I key while in Minecraft and engaging in text, this will open the immersive reader.
Sounded much better.
Constantinople.
Constantinople. Right. Okay. So now what we can do is we can go up to this little button up here with text preferences, and we can say, look, we prefer this text. I actually don't. I prefer that one. Comic Sans is a no-no, but Calibri for sure. We can also change the text size. So let's do that. Let's just do that. Then we'll go back out and we'll press play.
Hi, this is a board. If you press the I key while in Minecraft
and you can see that what it's doing now is it's still taking them through it.
Constantinople.
But it's doing it much larger. And then what we can do is we can go up to grammar options and we can say, look, why don't we make nouns pink, or verbs red, adjectives green, and adverbs yellow. And we can show the labels as well. And so let's try that again. We don't have to play it every time, but I'm just gonna.
Hi, this is a board. If you press the I key while in Minecraft and engaging in text, this will open the immersive reader. Constantinople.
Yeah, so let's turn syllables on. Let me see. Syllables on. Oh, look! Constantinople. Look at that. So we were right. We added the red. This is where our red concrete would have gone. Funny every time, right? And so before you know it, you've got this incredible tool built in for your literacy that helps children of any ability range to check this out. So where's our adjectives? Where's our nouns? Let's actually, it looks a bit messy just now, so let's just strip it down to just adverbs. How many are in there? None. Right. How many verbs are in there? Oh, there. Press, engaging, will open, is. Is a verb? I'm learning stuff today. It's treated, you know, like that. Minecraft is a noun. Text is a noun. Reader is a noun. Constantinople is a noun. And so it's such an amazing tool. Oh, we can translate by language. This is good. Show one line at a time. This is lovely. Show 3 lines at a time. No, let's do one and let's go back out and read that.
Hi, this is a board. If you press the I key while in Minecraft and engaging in text, this will open the immersive reader. Constantinople.
And then if we go into here, we can slow the voice speed down. Let's take it down to half and let's make it male instead.
Hi, this is a board. If you press the I key while in Minecraft and engaging in text, this will open the immersive reader. Constantinople.
Sounds like your drunk uncle. Probably shouldn't be teaching you to read, but that's fantastic. Genuinely, I absolutely love the immersive reader, and that works for. We've already done some stuff with NPCs. That really made me laugh. I enjoyed that. Oh, they got, look, black and white NPCs to go with our Victorians. Sadly, they don't have any. What does that one look like? Oh, he's not. I don't know why they're not showing up, but there we go. A black and white NPC. How nice is that? And then when we right click and we edit the dialogue, we can say, hi, I'm a Victorian. I speak like the Queen. I'm not even sure if that's a thing. And what we can do is we can, while we're in dialogue, Now, where is it? Why is it not coming up there? Oh, I know why. I need to be in student mode. And when I go in, oh, that's interesting. The immersive reader, I wonder if it's because I've used different NPCs. It's normally built in. I think it's because I did something to the NPCs. I'll tell you what, let's try a different world. I might have broken the NPCs in there. Victor the Victorian, right? Let's try just a standard redstone basic world. This will have all the things in there. Right. And so let's try this again. Let's get NPC. Here we go. Hi. Now let's go back into student mode. There we are. It's down in the bottom corner. It must have been because I had used those NPCs. I've changed the NPCs. So that's something for me to note as a bug, is that Immersive Reader may be affected by changing the NPCs. Yes, exactly, same world. It's the redstone world. And so what we can now do is we can just press. So a child, let's imagine we have a child who is practicing their literacy, practicing their writing. Maybe they're less able than some of their other classmates. Maybe they're more able and they're advanced, and they need to start looking at they're sort of sorting out vowels or adjectives and so on. We're going to press Immersive Reader, and it's already in there. You don't have to press I, and then there we are. It's back to our original settings. So we have our nouns, adjectives. There we go. There's an adjective here, and then what we're able to do is press play. And actually, I'm going to get off of the drunk guy text.
Hi, let's try to see if we can get Immersive Reader in here.
Nice. American accent, of course. And then we'll go back to the game. We can see what that's there. And so I'm going to bring this to a close. In conclusion, what we've looked at is just some tools in Minecraft and some lesson ideas for literacy. So whether that's using the book and quill and keeping things like writing stories, journals, instruction booklets, there's NPCs, there's signs, and we showed you a board, and then also there's the Immersive Reader, which is built in, and there's also coding aspects as well with text. We didn't go any further with the coding on text. I think I'm going to explore that rather than do it here and kind of lose a lot of time trying things I haven't done before. I'm going to try that later, and I'm going to come back on that. I think literacy with coding is another. In fact, let me just write that down. Let's do literacy with coding as a completely separate stream, and let's see if we can find all of the ways that literacy can be done using coding. I'm also doing maths with coding at another time as well, so let's do literacy too. So thanks very much for tuning in. This is going to be on youtube.com/c/immersive minds, and it will go and be part of the library of all the others. I think we got 8 so far, and we're doing this twice a day, every day for a month. So wherever you are in the world, thanks for tuning in. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay at home, and I will speak to you tomorrow, 12 p.m. GMT. Bye.